Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Good to see y'all. Thank you for waiting. My computer's still downloading stuff. All good. You guys do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. All right, guys. So we're back, ladies, gentlemen, people. Come on in. I appreciate you. Sometimes I'm usually right on time, but listen, this case is it keeps growing by the day, and I have so much to show you that we would be here for 6 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting into, I'm going to give you what happened, show you the characters in this story, and then we'll go as far as we can to lay the foundation of who, what, when, where, why. And you're going to see some crazy stuff today. If you were here yesterday, you're going to see family members speaking on the news and then getting arrested. So yesterday we talked about the Sebastian Rogers case, and we went over Chris and Katie Proudfoot and the leakage and the duper's delight, right? All of that hiding in plain sight. Well, this case couldn't be farther from that truth. All right. Now, although it is a rabbit hole, Holly, and welcome, Holly. If you guys weren't here yesterday, Holly is one of the latest mods in the mod squad. Thank you for being here and helping out, Holly. Synth is here. My girl Tiff is here. I'm sure Foxy's here somewhere, and then Carly's lurking in the bushes. What's up, Country Bumpkins 24? How you doing? All right, listen, guys. This is crazy because this case is just all over the place, and I'm going to do my very best to break it down for you in a way that you understand, so we can keep going. This is a rabbit hole, but you guys, I know exactly where the rabbit is in this hole, so don't worry. You won't get lost in the sauce here today. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And if you have questions, my girl Tiff is in chat. She helped me do this research. She's been covering this case for quite some time. So she might have answers that I don't while I'm streaming and reading. Good to see you guys. Come on in. That's how this gets into a crazy meth of a case. But bum bum. Look at that. I said that yesterday. I was watching another creator and I said, this case is methed up. There's a lot of meth going on in this case and a lot of mething around. All right. Literally. All right. These people are doing meth, selling meth. I don't know what else with the meth, but guys, this is a case of crazy. And I could explain it. It's just going to take a while. So buckle up, chill out, grab yourself a drink, do what you need to do, and let's go. There's a lot of shady characters, and almost every connection in this family is a pedo. You heard that right. A registered SO, sex offender, if you didn't know what that means. So many RSOs in this family, it's ridiculous. Now, let me just tell you guys, yeah, it's one big mess, Valerie, but here's the deal. The search for baby Parker intensifies after the body of Rebecca Park was found dead. All right. And listen. Speculation, which I've been following from family members. All right. From the family members that little baby was cut out of Rebecca's belly. And the reason that I'm telling you that, because we might not find it documented. However, when you're following the family, you're following the live streams, you're following people on TikTok doing this, there's a lot of people that are saying in this case that law enforcement has asked family members before they got arrested if Holly has ever had a C-section. Now, Holly, no, I'm sorry, I say Holly. I looked at your name, Rebecca. Jesus. Holly, stop it. Get out of here. Just kidding. Holly's our new mod. Okay, listen, Rebecca has had children already. She did not have a C-section, and the reason why I speculate that the baby was cut out of her like a C-section style is because they have found Rebecca's body now. And listen, they found her body and the baby was not there. She was due to have a baby 3 days before she goes missing. All right, a week, 21 days later, they find her body. Baby Park is gone. Family members are pleading to find the baby, to find her, But guess what? Family members are the ones that did this. So, y'all, when you see these interviews, they're lying through their teeth and they're all messed up. So, what's up, Sherlock Homegirl? Come on in, everybody. Hit the like. Don't forget. Share this. And if you have the means to help us, gift a membership, get a membership, super chat, super sticker, all that fun stuff. Also, don't forget to sign up for Ghost, Guilty of Crime. All right. And then I've got my Cash App stuff, emails down there. So, guys, Graciela, good to see you, my girl. All right. Tiff, I don't think you know her, but that's my girl, Graciela from Australia. We love her. She's a day one. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you're feeling good today. All right. So, yes, let's get into this. There's the connections, and we're about to fly with this. All right. We're about to fly with this. So, the whole story about the baby, it's not a story. That's the messed up part. But bum. We still have time for jokes. I'm here all day, guys. All right. Yeah, they stole the whole baby. Now, that's a thing. Pregnant women, there's a pregnant women. There's a stigma in true crime about pregnant women. They're more likely to be killed at the time of pregnancy by a spouse or somebody else due to the fact that they're pregnant because someone doesn't want the baby, or somebody wants the baby and they take the lady and they take the baby. All right. So it's a huge deal in true crime. It's happening more and more, and it's sickening. Rachel Burden, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. I appreciate you. All right. So let's get going. Tiff, I did send that over to I sent it over to Holly. She's good to go. If she doesn't have it, then Holly, get the links. MM Clark, good to see you, my girl. I missed you. Julie Bug, how you doing? Good to see you here. Indy Isham, always a pleasure. Valerie, not by a family member, by 4 members connected to the family now have been arrested for doing this. And trigger warning, because guys, this is brutal AF. I'm going to tell you, graphic details just came out in court today with charges, and it's bad. It's bad. So listen, Graciela J, my amazing best, receiving super medicated and in tears, but they don't last long because my heart's full of positive love. Well, Graciela, that's why you're my girl. We love you here on Guilty of Crime, and you're always welcome. All right, look at this. Courtney Bartholomew. That is Rebecca's bio mom. All right, Richard's ex-girlfriend, who you don't know quite yet, and Bradley Allen Bartholomew, Courtney's husband, which is also a registered SO, and all of them are. Even the women are registered sex offenders. Did they sell the baby? We're going to talk about that. We haven't even got into it. Those are only 2 of the people's charges in this case. All right. I'm gonna hop to this real quick in case anybody happened to already see this case. I'm gonna give you the full story, but let's start with this so y'all know. Rebecca Park, mystery, pregnant woman, dead, baby missing, and mom, stepdad, sister, and fiance in jail. 4 of these monsters. All right, hold on. I didn't share the screen. I'm sorry. It didn't go. All right. 4 of these monsters messed up real bad, and they are in jail. The bond is outrageous. Some of them haven't been arrested, and there are no charges. But right now, 4 people in Rebecca's family did this to her. And they went on to the news and pled to bring her home. That's the big deal that I'm showing y'all today. All right. Yeah, it sounds like deliverance. You're right. All right, listen, let's start this off. This came out yesterday. I'm going to go backwards a little bit so you can hear these people fake pleading for this woman, Rebecca Park. May she rest in peace. All right. So we've got the mom, we've got the stepdad, the sister, and her fiance, which is the man that allegedly got her pregnant. All right, now listen, search efforts continue after an autopsy found that Rebecca Park was no longer pregnant when her body was discovered. All right, what you need to know is the body of dead woman in Manistee. I think it's, wait, what is it? Manistee National Forest. That's where she was found on November 25th. That's Rebecca Park. the pregnant woman who went missing earlier this month. Now, I'm going to give you all the details in a minute. Officials are continuing search efforts after an autopsy found that Park was no longer pregnant with the baby she was due to deliver 3 days before her body was found. Now, on Sunday night, Park's mother and stepfather were booked into custody at Wexford County Jail, where Park's sister and fiance are also being held after being arrested last week. Her sister was out there pleading for her, and she's now arrested and part of it. And you'll see why. All right. I mean, this is one of the most brutal stories I've ever come across in recent history. Now, authorities in Michigan confirmed that the body of the woman found in Manistee National Forest last week is Rebecca Park. The discovery of Park's body came after a weeks long search to locate the missing mother to be, who was last seen shortly before midnight on November 3rd at the mother's home in Boon Township, about 100 miles north of Grand Rapids. So if you're from Michigan, you know. Now, search efforts are still ongoing. However, Wexford County Sheriff Trent Taylor revealing a statement that Park's autopsy also revealed she was no longer pregnant, which means the baby's missing. Park had been 38 weeks pregnant when she went missing, and her body was discovered 3 days after she was due to give birth. All right, so somebody did this with intention and a cause. Wexford County Sheriff's Office, along with multiple law enforcement agency, says they're working diligently to determine the condition and potential whereabouts of the baby. And that's why this is important, because if the baby is out there, we need to find the baby right away. Although you're going to see there's a little bit of sad news today. Because it's an active and ongoing investigation, the information can be released is extremely limited. We have a lot of the limited information that we've been gathering. So don't worry. All right. Now, Courtney Bartholomew, and this is why we have I'm going to put this up so you can see the people, and then we're going to go backwards a little bit. What's up, Sabrina, the middle-aged witch? Mab, good to see you, my friend. And I see you guys are helping out with the goal. Davina79, welcome to the crime crew. And Davina79, give us a $5 super sticker towards our goal. I appreciate that. All right, look, there's the people up there. Take a good look. Let me make it bigger so you can see. Look at those are the people. Rebecca's in the very middle. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. Courtney Bartholomew, who you see on the screen, 40 years old, was arrested and booked into Wexford County Jail at 11:40 p.m. on November 30th. And her fiance, Bradley Bartholomew, 47, was also booked into custody on December 1st, which was yesterday. All right, court appearances for the pair initially scheduled for Monday, now set for today. And I have those. We got the charges, we've got the gruesome details. All right, so let's move back just a little bit, and I'm going to pull this down so we can see them pleading and doing all the things. All right, they're the people. Sabrina, the middle-aged witch. I love it. All right, I'm going to keep this up there for a minute while I explain it, and then we'll start getting into the clips. Thank you again, Sabrina. I appreciate you so very much for that. All right, listen up here, folks. All right, let's start at the top of things. All right, I'm gonna go quickly. The Rebecca K. Park disappeared. She was 22 years old, and she's a woman from Boon Township, Michigan. She was reported missing on November 3rd, 2025 at her mother's home. Guys, she was reported missing almost a month ago from her mom's home. According to police, she got into a dark colored vehicle with tinted windows that evening. She didn't indicate where she was going or who was picking her up. The next day, her phone was found discarded near her mother's home, a detail that raised concern because it effectively ended the electronic tracking. So now they're looking at her mother, which ultimately gets arrested. Her pregnancy and the search effort. At the time of the disappearance, she was already 38 weeks pregnant. All right. Now, that was just days away from her due date. And the urgency to find her has been, it's just rapidly growing. But we didn't find her alive. She's now no longer with us. According to the media reports, you guys, the day that she went missing, she received about $2,000 from a family inheritance, which some sources suggest may have been used to avoid electronic tracking. So there's motive number one for a bunch of meth heads that are RSOs. $2,000, a big whopping 2,000, not so much, and a baby that they could sell. All right. So that night that she left, according to Richard Fowler, her man. All right. Now, you guys are going to start getting suspicious. Just remember, Duper's Delight. Please don't forget that. Okay. There's Duper's Delight. There's a bunch of methed up stuff. Let's go. Good to see y'all. I'm very hyped up today, and that's only because I'm really tired. And if I'm not hyping myself up and y'all aren't hyping me up, well, then I would just be tired. And I can't do that. I can't be tired. You know why? Because I'm presenting a case. All right. I'm going to start with this. All right. We've got two clips. We got this clip and another one of this man that should be pleading for his pregnant wife, pleading for the baby. Instead, he's tired because he probably ran out of meth.
Every minute that she's going to be found, her and the little man are going to be safe, okay. Having problems sleeping because for the last 2 years, every night, she's the one I was laying.
I had trouble sleeping because, not because every night, but because I ran out of meth. That's what he should have said. Just saying.
In bed next to. The night she left, I tried to call her a few times because I didn't get no messages.
Oh, let's start this over.
Just keep telling myself every minute that she's gonna be found. Her and the little man are gonna be safe, okay. Having problems sleeping because
I ran out of meth
every night. She's the one I was laying in bed next to.
She's the one that packed my bowl full of meth and then handed me the lighter. So now I'm tired.
The night she left, I tried to call her a few times because I didn't get no messages, call from her, nothing. And it's just not like her.
Thank you.
We're together 99% of the time. When we're not, you can ask anybody. We're always on our phones messaging each other.
Listen, he's the biological mom's ex. It's all twisted. All right. Think about that. Rebecca's mom, he's also her ex. And I think that they were still fooling around, whatever. All right. I didn't get no messages, but bum. All right. Now listen, here's the next one. Family friend.
I know that Rebecca don't go nowhere by herself. I know that me and Rebecca and Paige have had a thing in mind for at least 6 years now, that if something was to go wrong, we have Rebecca's okay to call the cops and have them come look for her.
Just keep telling myself every minute.
All right, we've got the full interview. I just want you to see how these people react to things. And when I say things, react to a missing mother of your child and the baby. All right, now, twist is an understatement, but don't worry about being judgmental, because after I show you this clip about all of these people that are registered sex offenders, and I'm not just making up the meth. They really do. When you see the charges, this guy is actually charged with, there's meth charges, all right? Yeah, I got to make fun of it. Otherwise, I'm going to be really pissed at what happened in this case, all right? All right. Wait, what did that woman say? What woman? All right, let's play this one more time.
That she's going to be found. Her and the little man are going to be safe, okay. Having problems.
Now, listen, we just also caught this, and thank you for making me play this again. Listen, I looked everywhere to find out if this was a boy or a girl, so at least we know what sex that we're looking for in the baby. And this guy just said we're looking for little man. All right. I'm assuming at 38 weeks, you already know if you're having a boy or a girl. So this is the first time I've heard and realized that they said a boy. So if we're looking for a baby that was cut out, then it's probably going to be a boy. All right. I'm very funny tonight. Thank you. It's unmething believable, right? Sounds like a methomania. It is. All right. Listen, you wanted to know what the girl said.
I'm sleeping because for the last 2 years, every night, she's going, I
Oh,
was
meth.
laying
She
in bed
handed me
next
my
to.
meth.
The night she left, I tried to call her a few times because I didn't get no messages, call from her, nothing. And it's just not like her because we're together 99% of the time. When we're not, you can ask anybody. We're always on our phones messaging each other.
I know that Rebecca don't go nowhere by herself. I know that me and Rebecca and Paige have had a thing in mind for at least 6 years now, that if something was to go wrong, we have Rebecca's okay to call the cops and have them come look for her.
Just keep
That's crazy. I wonder what that's about. All right. Now, listen, judge away. Judge away. I'm slept-in. I'm slept-in. All right, judge away because listen, I'm going to jump into this before I even tell you the next part. Now, look at this again so you can see this wild connection that they have going. Rebecca's in the middle, and you've got a mom, a bio mom, a best friend, a foster mom, a husband, a boyfriend that's with the mom. I mean, it just keeps going. I think we will post this on Ghost. So if you're signed up for Ghost, you'll get all this stuff when I'm done here. All right. So listen, judge away. Here we go. Here are all the RSO connections. And if you don't know what RSO means, it means a registered sex offender, including the women in this case. Let's go.
Pregnant, very much missing, and the whole story is very much messy. Rebecca is 39 weeks pregnant, due next week, and has been missing since November 3rd. Rebecca was last seen November 3rd by her biological mom at her biological mom's house. And
can you guys not hear this? Someone said something about the sound, and it's pretty loud for me. All right. If you guys can drop the link to my Ghost account, that would be great. And yes, great visual, Tiff. Otherwise, it's hard to understand. All right. Are you guys with me? Can you hear it? Because people are saying they can't hear it. Okay, let's go. And like I said, judge away.
her mom claims that somebody in a black truck that she didn't recognize came to the house and picked up Rebecca, and Rebecca said she would be back, but then didn't come back. Rebecca has not used any of her financial cards since she went missing on November 3rd. However, it is said that she got $2,000 cash from the death of her grandmother, and that was on her the day that she went missing. Allegedly, supposedly. I don't know shit about that. She's also not used her cell phone since she went missing. However, that cell phone was recovered off the beaten path, if you will, near her mother's house where she was last seen. Here's where it gets really super messy, so much so that me and the research team had to make a fucking flow chart.
And hey, girl, I'm with you. We have a research team, and it's me and it's Tiff. So the research team also made a chart, but we're going to look at hers because her chart puts together all of the RSOs. Right. So like I said, judge the frick away because it's going to get even worse soon. And then you're going to say, damn, I wish I would have judged them.
To play who's who in all of this. Rebecca, the pregnant woman who is missing, is currently pregnant by Richard, who she's also allegedly engaged to. Richard also happens to be her biological mother's ex-boyfriend. And baby daddy fiance / mom's ex-boyfriend happens to be a registered SO. And Joseph here is also a registered SO who happens to have his current address listed as the same current address as missing Rebecca and baby daddy / mom's ex-boyfriend, Richard. So this SO might be the roommate of the other SO and the missing female. So our missing pregnant woman, her baby daddy and fiance.
All right. Are y'all with me? And I wasn't muted. I was muted on purpose because, well, baby guilty wanted to come in. And guys, baby guilty wasn't feeling good today. So she was home from school. So, all right, let's keep going. So if she comes in a couple times, then that's why. $2,000 of meth and selling a baby. You make quite a bit of money with that. Right? Are those the motives?
Who's a registered SO, and their possible roommate, who's also a registered SO, and baby daddy is the ex-boyfriend of the missing girl's mom.
Thank you.
Everybody with me? Rebecca's mom, who was the last person to see her alive, and also the ex-girlfriend of Rebecca's baby daddy, is currently married to Brad, who is also a registered SO. Then you have Rebecca's best friend, Paige, who's been active on social media about the disappearance of Rebecca, whose mother is Jennifer, who calls herself Rebecca's street mom. And she, too, is a registered SO.
I mean, are you guys hearing this? Like, every single person that's connected into this case is the RSO. What do you think about that? Now you think that's a possibility? Good afternoon, crew. What's up, man? Yeah, with you, Jay. My younger is sick and abscess. Yeah, thank you. All right. So listen, the bunch of RSOs, including women, you don't see that too often in a situation like this, where everybody's just a bunch of pedos, right? That's all right.
And Jennifer is currently married to Isaiah, who is also a registered SO. So much going on here. No shortage of unreliable narrators in this story. Anyway, thanks for choosing Facts Over Fuckery. Make sure to like and follow for more, and I will see you guys on the next video. 22-year-old Rebecca Park.
All right. Is anyone any clearer now about that? All right, does anyone feel any clearer about that? No, not yet. Okay, we're not there yet then. All right, let's continue. Let me pull this back up and let's go. I got a little distracted here. My apologies. There are the two people that are arrested. I'll get to the charges later. There's the collage of things going on. All right, is anyone any clearer now? All right, let me the dogs are barking. There's a lot going on behind me. Baby Guilty, can you please close my door? Okay, sorry about that, guys. You know, it's hard for me to it's hard to concentrate when I'm distracted. I did that on Monday too, and I apologize. All right, listen real quick. We're gonna hear from the friends and the family joining the search and what they're saying, and then we know that everyone's connected.
Oxford County woman who is 9 months pregnant, 22-year-old Rebecca Park, hasn't been seen since November 3rd, and as deputies follow every lead, friends say they've now been cleared to help look for her. Up North Live's Tony Lundy joins us live outside the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. Tony, what new information has been provided?
Yeah, Mark, I'm outside the Wexford County Sheriff's Office, where investigators told Rebecca's friends that they've received the go-ahead to organize their own searches as long as they stay within the law. It's been more than a week since she had vanished, and tonight her loved ones are desperate for answers.
Rebecca was seen Monday night getting into a dark-colored vehicle outside a home on South 21.5 Road in Boon Township. Her phone was found nearby on a 2-track road, but there's been no trace of Rebecca or her unborn baby since. Deputies say they believe Park received about $2,000 cash from family inheritance the day she vanished, money that can make it easier for her to avoid electronic tracking. Her friends, though, say she wasn't planning to leave.
Not as far as I know on housing, but I do know that her and Richie were talking about getting married, and they were trying to figure out how to get that goal achieved along with buying their own house.
Friends who have known Rebecca for years are now searching on their own.
And guys, they're all searching. They're not sitting there. They're not sitting there saying, well, we don't know. We're just going to close shop. They're actually searching, talking to the news. And Tiff, if you could help me get that link over. I just shared it with you a minute ago before I started, but I can't find it. We added the link to the full interview with Richard. Is it Richard? With the fiance. Okay, we're gonna play that next. I have one of them. I just don't have the other, and I can't find it. So if you can find it and drop me that link, that'd be great.
Focusing on back roads and wooded areas near where she was last seen Monday.
She helped me, and it ended up sending her into labor and going to Cadillac Hospital. We called to inform everybody, and her last phone call was her mom, Courtney, and she's.
All right, listen. Her last phone call was her mom, Courtney. And I just found it, Tiff. Thank you. Sorry, I got a little discombobulated because dogs are barking and talking. Okay, listen. All of these people that are involved are almost half of them are arrested. All right. The girl that went missing was 22 years old. She's no longer with us. She was found after 21 days. All right. Yeah. Talk about some inbreeding going on. All right. let's keep going. I found that interview, so I'm going to show you those so you can see these characters that are inserting themselves into the case and how easy this was and how many people thought they knew that it was the mom and the family. And how could you not think that when the last call was from her mom, the last ping was from the cell phone around the area, the phone was dumped in the area. All of them are saying she never went anywhere without the guy that doesn't sleep without the meth. All right.
Said, don't let her get into a vehicle. I'm on my way. She got into a van with Kimmy and Courtney and left. I haven't heard from her since.
Deputies say Rebecca is not in any legal trouble. They just need to confirm she and her baby are safe.
And again,
anyone is allowed to keep searching as long as they don't trespass or
and again, they found her already. These are the people that joined in on it. Rebecca was 22, everybody. 22 years old, Rebecca. The baby she was 38 weeks pregnant, and she was 3 days before she was supposed to give birth. All right. And I know it gets confusing, but we're gonna do this together, everybody. All right. So let's put this back up, and you can see the search. You can see how they're looking, the people that are looking, and then they ultimately end up getting arrested. Now, lots of people were outside of the mom's home. What you're not seeing was there are a lot of people outside of the home protesting, so to speak. Where is she? I know you did it. We saw, if you watch the live, you saw the car getting towed away and evidence getting taken from the house. Everybody knew it. And I mean, everyone thought they knew that what had happened. All right. They thought they knew. And well, they were right. It's kind of like when we speculate about, right, Sebastian Rogers and how Katie was the last person with him, and Chris comes through and they establish an alibi, but nobody's ever been arrested. Well, that's the case. Do they have a cause of death? Absolutely. Well, they have an autopsy. The autopsy confirms the death with no body, but I just haven't gotten there yet. Clark, I'm not there yet. I had to go back and give you guys the backstory, and I want you to see how these people that are later ultimately arrested, how they're acting. That's her fiance right there, the missing, the fiance of missing pregnant woman from northern Michigan is pleading for answers as authorities continue to search for her. All right, Wexford County Sheriff's Office been looking for 22-year-old Rebecca Park of Manton, who's 38 weeks pregnant and can give birth at any time. So I have to document these.
Phone goes off. I look at it. Every time a car goes by my house, I look out the window thinking it's going to be her.
Thank you.
Richard Failer says he's been a mess since Becca disappeared. He says she was last seen getting into the passenger seat of a dark-colored vehicle at her biological mother's house on South 21.5 Road in Boon Township.
Becca told her, said, hold on, I got somebody picked me up. This is.
And I mean, do you hear this? Now that we know who's arrested and the people that they're targeting, these people are just bold-faced lying to the media. Anybody that's giving them an interview, it's, I don't know if it's duper's delight in that case, because of what's going on, but you see it. You're going to see it. And I've got one more that you're going to see of this concerned fiance.
Just something I got to do. I'm sorry. A black sedan car pulled up. Becca got out of the car, out of her mom's car, and got in the black sedan, and nobody's heard from her since.
Failer says she never told anyone who was picking her up and has no idea who she left with. His heart sank when he found out her cell phone was later discovered near the home where she was last seen.
Her phone was found on a 2-track across the street from her mom's, and anybody that...
And again, he's giving little bits of evidence, and that's it. What's up, Kristen? Yeah, this is my guilty of crime long sleeve, if you like it. Thank you. All right. Hello, Mom. I saw my mom come in here. Hi, Mom. Love you. Thanks for showing up. All right. Here we go. He's lying through his teeth. I don't even know if he has teeth, but he's lying.
Knows Becca. She don't go nowhere without her phone.
He says it's upsetting they can't track her, and he can't try to keep communicating with her now. He says it's just not like her. They're inseparable.
Me and her's been together for a little over 2 years. And even when she's not around me, She's always in contact with me.
Failer says he's worried for Becca and their unborn son. Her due date is November 18th, but Failer is concerned she could go into labor sooner. He says Sunday night they went to the hospital thinking she was in labor. At that time, she was dilated 1 centimeter.
Do you wonder what happened at that point when they thought she was giving labor? I mean, what happened between then and the time that she went missing? If he took her to give birth, what would they have done then? And it's sus, but I mean, we're just leading up to what they did. Yeah, I don't even know if he has teeth, Denise, so he could be lying through his gums. All right, we got more of this, lots of it, and lots more story.
Me, her mom, her sister.
Remember, her mom and her sister and this guy are now arrested and in custody. So everybody he just named was responsible. Yeah, he's lying through his tooth.
We've all been calling the hospitals. I just want to know that she's safe. Our son is safe.
Failer says Becca was last seen wearing a black coat, light blue jeans, a pair of gray shoes, and had a black bag with her. She's 5'2", weighing 140 pounds. If you see Becca, please call the Wexford County Sheriff's Office.
All right, so she's been found now, and we're going to move forward. Okay, so what we're looking at the people that were not even suspects in this case. These were people that are family members that were pleading for her return. And I think nobody closed my door, so I apologize. Okay, we got one more where he says it's just not like her. And this is a full 2-minute interview. It's like a hillbilly Chris Watts, where he's on the porch talking and lying through his gums. All right, let's go. All right, hold on real quick. All right, here it is. Search intensifies. And then, don't worry, I'm going to get up to them finding her body, the autopsy, what they think, what investigators think. All of it's coming. There's a lot.
More details tonight as the search continues in Wexford County for 22-year-old Rebecca K. Park, who was just days away from giving birth. Deputies tell us she was last seen a week ago, getting into a dark-colored vehicle outside a relative's home in Boon Township. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. Up North Live's Tony Lundy spoke to 2 of her loved ones as the latest.
Investigators later found Rebecca's cell phone discarded along a nearby 2-track, a discovery that's only added to her family's fear.
Just keep telling myself every minute.
All right, now this is the full 30-second, 2-minute, whatever interview. And this guy, when I first saw this before they had found her body, I literally thought, oh, this poor guy. I just watched it real quick. This poor guy is missing his baby and his fiance, or the fiance and the baby that she was carrying. Okay, and he's given an interview and he's talking about being tired. But then when we find out about his the drug charges and all the things, this guy is part of it. So again, we see this time and time again, especially you, Mab, right? You see these people giving interviews and then they're later arrested, some faster than others. You said he thought criminal, dancing eyebrows, he looks loony. Well, he's all out of meth. Apparently he can't sleep, which I doubt he hardly sleeps anyway.
That she's gonna be found. Her and the little man are gonna be safe. Okay. Having problems sleeping because for the last 2 years, every night, she's the one I was laying in bed next to.
Fowler says he knew something was wrong right away.
I tried to call her a few times because I didn't get no messages, call from her, nothing. And it's just not like her.
I mean, dude, put some sunglasses on. If you're going to sit there and lie through your tooth and you haven't slept for days and you're doing an interview, but literally, I thought, poor guy at first, all right? Imagine sharing with your mom, right? The mom gets pissed off because people are blaming her too. And now, by the end of this episode, we have 2 people charged fully, 2 more detained, and 4 altogether that are arrested in custody, lying through that tooth, Jen's a gypsy.
We're together 99% of the time. When we're not, you can ask anybody we're always on our phones messaging each other,
Yeah.
letting us know,
We're always messaging each other.
each other know what's going on.
Friends say Rebecca never went anywhere alone, and if something didn't feel right, she had a plan.
I would, I know that Rebecca don't go nowhere by herself. I know that me and Rebecca and Paige have had a thing in mind for at least 6 years now, that if something was to go wrong, we have Rebecca's okay to call the
That lady can't even breathe. How is she going to be your backup plan? I mean, I feel bad for the people that are victims, but guys, this is, I just have to say, we're a bunch of comedians. I mean, otherwise, you get upset. If you can't laugh, it's upsetting what's going on, right? I mean, what is this? Yeah, Goofy. It happens when I get a little bit of sleep and we're talking about a bunch of messed up stuff, right? She can barely breathe here. Come on. I mean, I don't understand how you could even be all messed up and I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna say it.
cops and have them come look for her.
Now, they're pleading for anyone with information to come forward. A reward of $10,000 is now in place for information that helps bring Rebecca Park home safe.
I wonder if they threw that 2,000 on top of that and made it 10 or 12. What do you think about that? Who has that 2,000? And where's the baby? Remember, we're still missing the baby. And now we think it may be a boy. Just speculating.
In Wexford County, Tony Lundy, Up North Live News.
All right, guys. Now, Clark, we're going to get to the body being found and the autopsy and all of that. And then we're going to circle back to who did it, where, what, the charges, etc. Right? All right. Let's take a look at. Oh yeah. First, let's do this. Let's look at again. This case can be covered probably in 3 episodes, 2 hours a piece. There's a lot. So I'm trying to give you guys the baseline, and then as everything else comes out, I'll keep continuing to cover it. All right. Has everyone lost their minds? I think so. All right, here we go. Autopsy. This was Saturday, November 29th. Autopsy confirms body in forest was Rebecca Park, a baby not with body. All right. So we got some pictures here. Let's just take a look real quick so you can see what they've got. Sheriff's office. We've got the still picture of them in the car. He doesn't look too happy, does he? And she has a tattoo on her face. I tried to capture that in the still, but it's hard. And then there are the 2 people that have been charged, and the rest there's going to be 2 more. All right. So let's get back to let me read this to you. Bodies found, autopsy, Wexford County, Michigan. An autopsy confirmed the body found on November 25th in Manistee National Forest was Rebecca Park, the woman who disappeared from Boone in Wexford County, just days away from giving birth. In a press release, the sheriff said the baby was not present when the volunteer searchers discovered Rebecca's body. Listen, Clary here, the official cause of death is still pending. And behind the scenes, they also don't talk about this here, that her baby was possibly cut out of her like a C-section would. Right now, she was already going to give birth. They could have let her give birth and then did whatever, but no, she didn't give birth. Maybe she was taking too long, and rumor has it that they cut the baby right out. All right. A lot of people, a lot of experts don't think the baby survived due to the levels in Rebecca's body. And you'll hear about that. All right. Law enforcement are trying to find Rebecca's baby, and that's what we're here for. Due to the investigation, sheriff said the information can be released. Hold on. Sorry. This is something totally different. Okay. Due to the investigation, the sheriff said information can be released. At this time, is extremely limited. It's coming fast, though. All right, in a press release, Sheriff Trent said, "We understand the public's desire for details and their demands for justice for Rebecca and her baby. We ask your patience and understanding." And that's what they always say, right? Okay, Rebecca, 22, guys. She's 22 years old. She went missing November 4th when she was 38 weeks pregnant. And family, and that's including her mom, her fiance, and all the people that were arrested, told law enforcement that they saw her November 3rd getting into a vehicle. All right. Rebecca was missing for 3 weeks when her body was discovered. The same night Rebecca's body was found, guys, her fiance, Richard, was also arrested. Now, Rebecca Park's sister, Kimberly Park, was arrested around 1 a.m. the following morning. So Rebecca's body's found, and then her fiance was arrested. Rebecca's sister, Kimberly, was arrested that morning around 1 a.m. Those are the two people that you see on the thumbnail and that I just showed you. Kimberly Park, her sister, is being held on $750,000 cash bond at Wexford County Jail. Kimberly was charged with 3 counts, including tampering with evidence in a criminal case, lying to a police officer during a violent crime investigation, and filing a false report of a felony. They are all lying. The judge said Kimberly is a flight risk promoting a high cash bond. Now, Richard Lee, that you see down here, is in jail, held on $1 million cash bond. Court hearing: Rebecca's sister and fiance face felony charges. I have some of that stuff for you after this. Fowler is facing potential life sentence after being charged with 2 counts of delivering methamphetamine. All right, so we're not making up the whole he's methed up. He actually got charged with 2 counts of delivering methamphetamine. As a habitual offender with 3 previous attempted or completed felonies, Fowler's charges could lead to a life sentence. We hope they do. At his arraignment, the judge called for Fowler a threat to the community and a flight risk, prompting the $1 million bond and the $750,000 bond. And this guy looks like he's turning into a werewolf. So please give this guy a haircut and throw him in a jail and treat him like a dog. Not a dog, I'm sorry. Dogs need to be treated good. Treat him like the trash that he is. What is up, my guy Jumpas? Much love to you. Oh my God. I thought, well, $20, but $50. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Much love to you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I see Jumps all over. Jumpas. I see him everywhere. I see Holly everywhere. They're on the YouTube streets and we're hanging out in the same places. I no, I never heard that she was beheaded. If there's anything to that, somebody let me know. Tiff has been covering this case. So, Tiff, have you heard anything about that? I haven't. I heard the baby was cut out like Sharon Tate's baby was cut out. Do you guys remember the Tate murders? Well, that's what happened in that case. All right. So let's continue. They're up until this point. Let me show you. So here are the 2 people that actually have charges. All right. That's Courtney Bartholomew, Rebecca's biological mom, and Richard's ex-girlfriend. All right. That's weird. Mom and daughter are sharing a dude. What? And then Bradley Allen Bartholomew, Courtney's ex-husband. And they're all SOs, RSOs. All right. All right. Let's keep going. I just wanted you guys to see what's going on. I will show you the clip where you see the charges that happened today. I just don't want to jump too far ahead. All right, so those 2 are arrested, and then after the body was found, more people are being accused and arrested. And now we're up until, let me remove this one. There's a lot in this case, you guys. This is a wild case. My goodness. All right, Rebecca's mom ultimately gets arrested, which I'm going to show you. When she's accused of being having a hand in her daughter's death, she freaks out. Okay, let's go.
Recap as well as audio that I want to play for you guys when it comes to the missing 39-week pregnant woman out of Boone Township, Michigan, Rebecca K. Park. Rebecca is supposed to give birth in 2 days. Her due date is November 18th, 2025. So time is really of the essence here. So over the weekend, a volunteer coordinated search effort took place for Rebecca in the area that she was last seen by her mother's residence. As you guys know, Rebecca's mom, Courtney, has been giving inconsistent statements when it comes to the timeline of Rebecca going missing, what she was last seen wearing, as well as the vehicle that she was allegedly picked up in. On top of that, Courtney refused to go out and help partake in the search for her daughter. She claims that it's because she's disabled. She only has 1 leg, but
now remember that, guys. Remember the moms and the people that are in these cases that don't go out and search, right? They don't go out and search because, oh wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. My my computer's lagging and it just decided to play. Right. So remember the people that make excuses, the ones that don't hand out flyers, the ones that don't search, the ones that just say, nope, done. She left. I can't find anything. We don't know anybody. She never goes anywhere. Case closed. Right. Okay. Case not closed.
She's a caretaker allegedly, so she can go out and help take care of others, but she can't go out and help assist with the search for her daughter. A little weird, a little sus in my opinion. Now, the audio I'm about to play is audio from Courtney, Rebecca's mother. She is talking about being accused and having a hand in.
All right, this is great because she is accused ultimately, and they take her in like Jen Soto. How could we forget that, right? And guys, there's more information in that case that's coming out. Okay, I'm going to cover it. I had probably 15 people message me last night about the Walmart lawsuit, which we already knew about with the Sotos and Yolanda, but then the what's it called, Siva Florane. I can't remember exactly how to say that, but we'll get to it. I promise. All right, let's go. Listen.
Her daughter's disappearance, and she's very upset. If you guys heard this audio, I want you to listen again and let me know in the comments why you're listening, if anything stands out to you.
1, they have searched my property. 2, I didn't touch my daughter. And 3, we already know the info that you're telling us, Araya.
And we got cameras watching the road, you dumb.
So you better watch it. Rusty, you better get your child under control. Because she's taking a mother's pain and turning it into a goddamn circus. You don't have kids that actually you take care of. I do, unfortunately, that you don't have yours because you can't be a mom to yours. You're getting an ass whooping.
I mean, do you hear it? She's bold to be saying that when, right? Yes, Trishy, yes. Very bad news, all right? We'll get into that this week, I promise, all right? What they did to her, yes. Oh my goodness. All right. This woman, out of her mind. Again, everybody's RSOs, and they all messing around there.
You keep it up. I'm not playing with you anymore. I already know the goddamn information.
Trigger
My
warning.
daughter probably left rich. Y'all can't accept it. Get over it. If that is what she
and she's just making up excuses and saying that. What is this, right? If anyone wants to talk about inbred here, let's talk about that, because this is not just, we're not just making that up in this case. Oof.
Then I'm happy for her. I just want to know where she's at and that she's okay. That's all that counts anymore. And you know what? You ever say I laid a hand on my pregnant daughter?
If you ever say I laid a hand on the pregnant daughter, you're going to do what? Nothing. All right. And you were 7 during the Manson case. I don't know how old I was, but that case is unforgettable. And that is what happened in this case. But the problem is, guys, before Law and Crime picked this up, before Jay from Guilty of Crime picked this up, they were actively searching for Rebecca Park on TikTok. They were filming it live in front of this lady's house, and it was like it's like the Buzzard case, the Melody Buzzard case. People were demanding answers. All right, let's keep going, because so much more.
Araya, so help me God, you will not like me. Don't play with me.
So I don't know if you guys caught this, but she actually talks about the fact that she has kids that she has to take care of, but she ends it with, unfortunately, almost as if having kids, in her opinion, is a burden. She also mentions, along with Brad, her partner, who is an RSO, that there's cameras at their residence pointing toward the road. Yet Courtney told authorities the other day that their cameras did not work. So why is...
Oh, wait, what? The cameras didn't work? Or we don't have cameras. We work at ADT. What, Katie Proudfoot? You work at ADT or alarm company, whatever, and you don't have cameras? Nothing's there. No evidence. Case closed. Again, guys, this is just validation of the other cases that we cover all the time, where it's right in plain sight. And as soon as we finish this, I'm going to show you, after this lady thinks she's big and bad, that pregnant woman, Rebecca, right? She died, baby's gone. Mom, stepdad, sister, and fiance are now in jail. All of them.
This woman who was the last person to see her daughter alive being so inconsistent? And why is she giving off the vibe that whatever happened to her daughter and wherever her daughter is better than her giving birth and being with her current partner, Rich, who she happened to date before her daughter did? As information is sent to me and as updates are publicized, I will be sure to share with you guys, so make sure you're following me. What do you guys think of all of this? Let me know in the comments.
All right, great. We love you, Matt Thibodeau. Go subscribe to him. All right, now that you've seen all this, there are 4 people that are in custody, but only 2 that have been charged. So let me, for the people that rolled in after I showed this, let me put this back up just so you can see this crazy chart of people that are connected, husband, ex-boyfriends. You're hearing all the names. So there we go. Right. And then now, ultimately, now we're up to speed today. Her body's found, baby's missing, and we're looking for a baby. Right. I showed this a little bit earlier, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But now the body's been found, baby's missing. We're frantically and currently looking for a baby now. All right. But mom, stepdad, sister, and fiance are all in jail because of this case, because of surrounding her and taking her life, taking the baby, whatever they did. Right. So the body was found November 25th. After that, everybody started getting arrested one by one. All right. We got up to that part, family pleading the charges. Right. Now we are up to speed. Now we're up to where we can talk about what's happening today and then moving forward. So let's take a look at this. This just happened minutes ago before I started. Let's take a look at what happened with the charges and what they're saying they're being charged for and with the details. This was just today. This was hours ago before I started. Court hears details. Listen, in the murder and torture of pregnant Rebecca Park. All right, let's listen.
Glimpse of what investigators.
Rebecca Park are now charged with her death.
And those charges giving us a glimpse of what investigators say happened to the 22-year-old and her baby.
Rebecca's biological mother and stepfather, Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, in court today on 8 charges each.
All right, now listen, guys, there's the other 2. So we originally started out with these 2. Okay, we've got Courtney and Brad, and you can see the charges are outrageous. And then we move it to here. Remove that, put that there, and there they are, and we're seeing it. Okay. I'm a visual person. So guys, we have 204 people. If you can hit that like button for me, that would be awesome. Right. This is not an easy episode to start in the middle of all of this, but with Tiff's help, I was able to. So thank you. All right. Here are the loser meth heads.
Are warning you the details of this case are very
graphic.
difficult to hear. Up North Live's Tony Lundy joins us live from the Wexford County Courthouse, where the couple was charged with the murder of Rebecca and her baby. Tony, what was the atmosphere like inside that courtroom today?
Well, Melissa and Mark, the courtroom was packed with family, friends, and others from the community, all hopeful to find answers on this month-long case. But many left that courtroom today heartbroken. The graphic details laid out by the prosecuting attorney describing what investigators say led to the death of Rebecca Park and her baby. The accused, Rebecca's biological mom, Courtney Bartholomew, and stepdad, Brad Bartholomew.
Don't they look like a mess?
They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they...
Okay, are you guys hearing that? So, like Clara, when you asked, and great question, what's the cause of death? All right, and now listen, here's the kicker, Barb. We're going to get into that. The baby's missing. The search has intensified, but with the body of Rebecca Park in the state it was in and her levels, they're doing toxicology and all that, the baby is not necessarily dead. But what they're saying is the baby can possibly still be alive. They're going to charge it. They're going to charge the baby as being dead since the baby isn't with them. And the baby, no. So we're not going to rule the baby as being deceased. They're charging the baby as being deceased based on the way the body was left. But the baby could still be out there. And that's what we're going to get into next. It said it could have caused it. But guys, we have a full conversation about the baby possibly being trafficked. And I don't want you guys to think that the baby's no longer alive. Case closed. We're not looking for the baby. We're absolutely here to look for that baby. All right, so let's keep going. We're gonna have a whole discussion about that. Don't worry. Ice Blue Ross, thank you so much for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. Yeah, our levels drop. There's a lot in this case, all right? But I don't want people to just stop and think this is done. Baby's dead. She's gone. They're arrested. This is far from over. It's just began. All right. All right, listen to what they did. So you, Clark, I'm directing this at you because the cause of death is, we don't have an official one, but when you hear that she was stabbed 14 times and the details, then you understand what the cause of death was. Now, officially, did they asphyxiate her and then do that? You know what I mean? There's a lot of possibilities, but more than likely, she bled out. They took the baby. Let's go.
After forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby.
So they just said that. They did say they put her on the ground and cut the baby out of her. Now, they say causing the death of the baby, but they don't know that for sure. They're speculating that based on her levels and how the body was left. Barb Murray says, I picked the wrong day to quit drinking. Yikes. Oh, no. Don't. If you need to take a break, please do. But let's say we really want to find baby Park, if that's possible, and if the baby's still alive. It's possible.
Courtroom was filled with the same people who desperately searched for Rebecca after she was reported missing 1 month ago. And now, hearing the details that led to her death left many visibly distraught, the prosecutor asking the judge to leave no room for leniency.
This is as heinous and as awful the case as it could be. And I don't believe there are any circumstances in which Mr. Bartholomew should be granted any bond.
The judge did agree, ordering both Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew to continue being held without bond and are ordered to not have communication with one another from the jails. Live in Wexford County, Tony Lundy, Up North Live News.
Thanks for those updates, Tony. Now,
and that's crazy, right? We're just, I mean, here's the breakdown of the case, and I'm so glad that this case is gaining national attention, because before I did this case, people were reaching out to me asking me to cover it. So I reached out to the TikTok people. They said they had it covered on YouTube, so I backed off of it. I didn't want to, step on their toes, the people covering it, but now it needs more coverage due to what's happened. And thankfully, it's getting international attention. And that's why I want you guys to know that we're still looking for the baby, and this is why. All right. So I'm glad that this episode came out right before I was going to cover the case, because now we're going to have discussions. All right, here we go. Law and Crime Sidebar came out with this yesterday when I had already planned to cover it. And the experts are having good discussions on if the baby's alive, is it possible, all of that. All right. Oh, yeah, 1976. Imagine everyone she loved did this to her. She was a mother to 2 other babies. Yeah, she was. And that's why so we just found out officially that they cut the baby out. 14 stabs, they cut the baby out. Before this, it was all speculation because law enforcement had asked the family, did she ever have a C-section with her other children? And they said no. All right. And so we were speculating about the baby being cut out, but we just heard the baby was. So yes, she did have other children. Yes. And can you imagine anybody? Listen, guys, we cover cases all week long about children being unalived by their parents. Can you imagine a little girl sitting in her car seat and like Chris Watts, daddy, no, don't do that to me after you saw your dad smothering your sister or whatever, right? The Family Annihilators, the children being starved. They're sitting there. They put them in a closet. Don't feed them. And the other children are getting fed. Or like the Wisconsin House of Horrors, where you've got morbidly obese people starving a child. Imagine how they feel while the people surround them that are supposed to love them doing the most harm. What's up, Millie Rivera? Good to see you, my friend. This is a horrific story. Trigger warning. All right, let's go. We got to get through this. We're going to have a lot more to cover. This case is getting messy.
To give birth to a baby boy any day has taken a tragic turn after her body was discovered in the woods of northern Michigan. But the baby was nowhere to be found.
All right, and this is going to be discussions with experts that talk about it. They're not going to do all the details that we just did. So thankful to Law and Crime. It's in the description.
And the shocking developments continued as some of her own family members were taken into custody. It is a story that has gripped true crime sleuths across social media, but what are the facts and what is speculation? We are getting to the bottom of it all right now. Welcome to Side.
I mean, how messed up is this to be a shady character? I mean, it's beyond shady. That's evil, in my opinion, to have a picture like this, to be in the car with the one you love, to be in an interview, pleading for someone to come home. I can't sleep. And you're the one that did it. Who do you guys think is the one? Take a guess in chat. We don't exactly know yet, but who is the one that you think actually did the cutting out and taking the baby? That's what I want to know. I want to know who do we think it's the man that did that? I mean, they're all RSOs, right?
Presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Right. No, we don't need to hear that.
To group sources.
All right.
Trustworthy journalist.
Yeah.
22-year-old Rebecca was last seen on November 3rd at her mother's home in Boon Township. This is according to Wexford County investigators. She apparently got into the passenger side of a car outside the home. Now, once the sheriff's office knew she was missing, they started doing searches on foot, also with canine teams, a drone. This is according to news outlet Michigan Live. There was also apparently volunteer search groups that were not affiliated with law enforcement. They were out searching for Rebecca. And on November 12th, so this is 8 days after Rebecca was reported missing, police issued a public announcement for her to contact them, hoping that maybe she was scared and hiding.
And remember, the family is the one that were doing the big push. Yeah, the man could have been the one to hold her down. I mean, why does it take 4 people to take a pregnant woman and to do that? Was there animosity? I know there probably was with her mom and her boyfriend. I mean, what would drive them to do that? Greed, but so many of them. Mom and fiance have to be strong. Stepfather. Okay, thank you guys for interacting in chat. You say the mother, and the mother's could have been. You heard her.
Out. The sheriff's message assured Rebecca that she wasn't in any kind of trouble. This was according to Michigan Live. But there was still no sign of the mom-to-be. Rebecca's phone was found on a dirt road near her mom's house where she was last seen. The police also said she might have had $2,000 cash on her as part of an inheritance from a recently deceased family member.
That's so
Michigan Live reports that law enforcement had to push back on all of these rumors and speculation that was rampant online, with people both local to the rural area and outsiders making these connections.
Guys, that's what it was before I'm covering it, before Law and Crime did. It was a bunch of people that were worried and cared about Rebecca. And even the family was just right in there, and people were accusing the family, and they're, lying through their no teeth, right? Prayers. Absolutely. Good to see you, N. Brighton. All right, let's keep going. We got to get through this so we can continue to cover it. There's a lot
that really had no basis in fact. They were instead based on small town gossip. In fact, the sheriff indicated, according to Michigan Live, that all of that misinformation was hampering the search for Rebecca. Then you go to Tuesday, November 25th. This is after being missing for weeks. The sheriff announced that a female body resembling Rebecca was found in the Manistee National Forest. Authorities wouldn't confirm her identity until after an autopsy was performed. According to Michigan Live's reporting, the area where she had been found had already been searched at least once. The sheriff wouldn't comment on whether her body may have been moved, and it's our understanding from the sheriff, he says that it was citizens who found the body, not law enforcement.
Whoa.
In fact, when it came to questions from reporters during that news conference, Sheriff Trent Taylor, as well as the Michigan State Police, didn't really have much to say.
We can't answer that.
Yeah, no.
And again, they put a bunch of clips together. I have the full presser, but I don't want to go too far backwards. I want to continue in this case moving forward so that we can put the word out that the baby is possibly still out there.
Comment on that. I don't have any comment on that at this time.
And those are details, again, that we can't comment on at this time, but hoping in the future that we can comment on that.
Officials would later confirm that that body was in fact Rebecca. But there's a caveat. Her baby was not with her when she was found, and a search for the infant was underway. Now, details about how the baby may have been taken, they were not provided. And by the way,
And that's what we're up to right now. Where is baby Park? I think I put Parker on accident, but that's my bad. Where's the baby? All right. And do me a favor, hit that like button. My side seems frozen. Can you guys in chat comment so I can see if chat's not moving at all?
Neither was Rebecca's cause of death. That has not been released. Wexford County Sheriff Taylor said, quote, the Wexford County Sheriff's Office, along with multiple law enforcement agencies, is working diligently to determine the condition and potential whereabouts
Okay,
of the
thank
baby.
you.
Because this is an active and ongoing investigation, the information that can be released is extremely limited at this time. Now, all this is going on, we have an unexpected twist. The very next day after Rebecca's body was found in the woods, 2 of Rebecca's loved ones were arrested and arraigned in court. Rebecca's fiance, Richard Fowler, and her sister, Kimberly Park.
All right, so I hope this helps you, for everybody that stays here, to understand this better, because now you've seen the chart and you're starting to learn the people. Rebecca's fiance, Richard, and her sister, Kimberly Park. Those are the 2 people, it froze briefly, thank you. Those are the 2 people in the world that you would not expect to do something like that. Local gossip says Courtney's dad did 30 years for kidnapping and torturing people, and I wouldn't doubt that. All right. I would not doubt that at all with you when you see the characters that are surrounded in this case. What role would her sister have to do in this? Why? You think maybe she was sleeping with them too? What a catch.
Now, to be clear, we cannot confirm if the charges that they currently face are actually related to Rebecca's death, okay? Richard Fowler was arraigned.
Well, now we do. Now we do know we have the charges in front of us, okay? She was jelly, probably. Her dad is a pedo too. They're all of them are. What is the soul? What is soul twisted? Why did Rebecca even date her mom's ex-boyfriend? Or yep. Well, again, they're all messed up. Everybody, and she's 22 years old, guys. This guy would I say 47?
On 2 counts of delivery, manufacture of a controlled substance, and for being a habitual offender. Fowler, who's 43, is also a registered sex offender, and his bond was set at a very high number. We're talking $1 million. Prosecutors say he's a flight risk. Now, Kimberly Park was arraigned on charges of tampering with evidence, lying to police, and a false report of a felony. Again, it's unclear if that is in connection with Rebecca's case or something else. Her bond was set at $750,000, quite high as well. Now, at last check, both are still behind bars. If they do make bail, they're going to be required to wear GPS monitors.
Now, listen, we know now that they did not make bail. This guy's got $1 million bail, and she's got $750,000. They consider them a threat, right?
We got to talk about what this all means. Okay, so to help us break down the significance of these arrests, what's maybe going on behind the scenes in this investigation, why certain details are not being revealed, what maybe happened to this baby, I want to bring on retired NYPD detective Dave.
Right. And that's why we're doing this, because you guys, we're going to hear about why we think, or why we still need to continue looking for the baby, because it's not a case closed, shut down. The baby wasn't there. They purposely cut that baby out for a reason. All right. They did that for a reason. And it wasn't just to be nefarious, or they would have left the baby there, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. If you're going to do that and you're going to brutally take the life of Rebecca and cut the baby out, you're just going to leave everything there. You're not going to take the baby. So we don't really know for sure that the baby's not alive. All right.
And family that seems to be, it seems to be a lot of speculation now. And that's one thing about these cases. You don't want to give everything out to the public, because what happens is it taints the investigation. You know, the court of public opinion is one thing, but the courts, when you want to put this case to trial, and right now you have a missing that is now turned up dead. There's a baby that she's supposed to have given birth to, a boy, is not there. So you have to kind of backtrack to where the body's located and to the mom. Speak to the mom, and you speak to her several times, and then try to talk. And they've spoken obviously to the boyfriend. They've spoken to the daughter. And
guys, I apologize for the volume. I've got it as loud as I can, and it seems to be this guy's volume. All right.
Stories are either not jiving up according to what this investigation is
guys.
going, because now you have the boyfriend being locked up in unrelated charges right now. He's dealing with the meth charges, and this is one part of it. It's the daughter now tampering with evidence, lying to the police, and you have the parents now arrested. So this is really getting, it's going into some really dark territory when you think of
You
how
think?
families are. I mean, this is, you report her missing, but reality is, I don't think she was ever missing in the first.
Yeah, I want to get to that later development.
And there you go. So again, I wanted to get to that too. I don't think she was ever missing, you guys, at all. I think that they absolutely took her life that night or the day before, and then they called and said she's missing. However it all unfolded and the whole missing story came, I don't think so. Patricia says, I bet they removed the baby, but it expired shortly after. That's why he isn't at the scene. Well, listen, if they were going to just terrorize Rebecca and take the baby, you would think they would just leave the baby. But listen, she was already due in 3 days. She was already full term, guys. So you can be full term, and I mean, someone can do a C-section cut and get that baby out, and it can certainly still be alive. So I don't want to rule that out. I don't want anyone to think that that's the case. I don't know. I still have hope that the baby's alive. I'm hoping.
In a minute, but focusing on this fiance and the sister, it is unusual to say the least. You mentioned a lack of details being released to the public. Why not release the cause of death at this point? Is it because how could that jeopardize the investigation? And you have to wonder whether or not the cause of death is somehow related to the baby, right? Where is that baby? Did she die under circumstances where that baby was extracted or removed? I mean, that's where my thoughts went. But I wonder.
And I'm still thinking that, guys. I absolutely still think that their motive was, number one, they took that cash and they were going to take the baby to sell the baby. Remember, they're around a bunch of RSOs and a bunch of people that meth around. Now, this is right, Summer Wells case, that all of these people are just surrounded and swapping wives and swapping partners. That's what this reminds me of.
What's the reason to not release the cause of death?
Well, depending on how the state of the condition of the body that they located, it was outside. You don't know what.
Thank you, Barb.
Took place. Is there, is the body been tampered with on one end, but we're talking about natural environmental issues, cold rain, animals, natural decomposition. So they may not have an absolute cause of death or manner of death right now. So they just have right now they know the body's deceased. It's now no longer a missing persons case. It's a death investigation, an investigate DOA. And they may not have the answers right now with this case. And that's understandable because it takes time. Because just because you have a body doesn't necessarily know what happened to the body. So that autopsy.
Now, and I suspect, guys, that if they don't find the body, that they're going to charge them in the case like they are now. They're going to charge them with the death of the baby. If a baby's not produced, they're going to use that to charge them. All right. So let's keep going. Yes, the baby was removed very forcefully. All right. Very, very. Come on in. Good to see you, Husky lovers. Kathleen, how's everybody doing? Have they said the baby? Yes, they did. They said the baby was removed. There were 14 stab wounds to her stomach area, and the baby was just cut out, ripped out. Yes, they did. And if you just came in, please go back and rewatch it. There's a lot of details.
Is taking place. And even if they do know the cause of death, you wouldn't want to release it out to the public anyway, because are there other people involved in her death other than the people right now, which is the family and the boyfriend? Are there others involved in this? So, you later rest the fact that she's no longer missing.
I think so.
And that's good for the investigation on that end. But let the investigation run its course. And I always tell people when it comes to these things, you don't want the public to know everything. If they do, then you have all of these, these internet sleuths. You have all of these situations come up. And if things go the wrong track, then now that becomes a problem in a trial, because
now listen, also, but they're not really saying they're not saying if the baby's alive, if the baby's not alive, and that could be for a reason, so that the people have their guard down, whoever actually has the baby or took the baby's body, because the baby's body was not there. Jumpa says, makes sense. Yeah. What's up, Tiff Knox? Good to see you. Hello, Jay. Another horrible crime I see. Need to rewatch, right? When do I not cover horrible crimes? Well, good to see you, my friend. This sounds terrible, but I hope she was gone before they took that baby. I can't imagine the physical, emotional. Now, listen, Panda Ann, you're right. Here's the thing, though. We don't even know what the cause of death was. So it's a possibility that they just cut that baby right out and she bled. Hopefully it didn't happen that way because that's horrible, but it's all died with a C-section. Your mom, who? All right, I missed something. All right, let's keep going. Good to see you guys. Hit that like button. Also, you guys, I didn't get to tell you yet, but if you see the hype, HYPE with a star, there's hype buttons now available to everybody. If you guys do me a favor on my videos when you watch them, hit that hype button for me if you like the content that I create. Thank you.
You said we had A, but now you're saying it's B. Why did that happen? And we don't want to, these investigations, you want to do them right, and you want to make sure everything is done the proper way. And you can't tell everyone in the public what.
And you guys see that she has a tattoo up here on her face. It looks like she tried to cover it quite a bit. I never understand that. If you're gonna get a tattoo on your face, just leave it. But this is the victim here. So may Rebecca Park rest in peace, and may the baby be resting in peace if it's no longer alive. And I'm going to speculate it being a boy.
What you're doing, because if you do, it taints the investigation and further investigations in the cases like.
Dave, I have to ask you a question I don't want to ask, but I have to. In your experience, do you think this baby is alive, right? Because putting aside the circumstances with which this baby was born, you need resources to care for a baby.
They will.
And at the same token, if you think the worst and you think something happened to this baby and someone disposed of this baby, there might be evidence of that. It might be difficult, right, to hide evidence of what happened to this baby. What are you thinking about here?
Well, I really think it depends on the condition of the decedent. When they
and again, and guys, the people that did the autopsy and law enforcement probably know a lot more than we do about the condition of the baby based on how she was left. Girlfriend, I'm waiting on my hoodie. I can't wait to get it. I didn't get order. You didn't. Wait, Millie, you didn't get a hoodie from me. Talk to whoever. Tiff does the merch. If you can message her. All right, Jay. The baby's name is Richard. The baby's name. What do you? The baby had a name, Richard Scott. What? Okay. Anyway, let's keep going.
Say the body. They found the body with no baby in it. It depends on the state of the body. Was that baby birthed outside? And this is the one thing we know. Apparently, she was very close to term, and she disappears around that time. That's a little scary.
He's connected.
Given the fact what may have happened, and
you
do a boyfriend who's 46 years old, who's a user of drugs, meth, crystal meth and the like, being arrested for that.
Well, apparently the baby's name is Richard. So anyway, we're going to say the baby's a boy. I tried to look for that in any article I could find, and they didn't confirm it. So Tiff's been covering this case. There we go. Suzanne, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Rest in peace, Rebecca and child. All right, thank you guys. Let's continue. There's a lot today.
Believe, and this is speculation again, has that baby been already trafficked out?
There you go.
That's something you have to consider, and that's why.
When you say that, what do you mean exactly?
I think someone picked. I think they had her birth. I think somebody they made an agreement. And this is again speculation, and this is something another angle you look at. Was this baby given to another family or given to somebody for whatever reason as payment, whatever it is? Because it depends on the condition of the body, and that's why the ME medical exam, the coroner, is going to look and seeing if this baby was birthed. She was close to term. She leaves the day she apparently, like about a day or so after or before, during that time when she's dilating, she disappears. She had $2,000 on her apparently. She leaves the scene around that time, and she's gone. And then they make the report because the family knew where she was. The family knew what happened. Was this an agreement? Again, speculation as always. It's innocent until guilty. Was there an agreement to have this baby given or sold to somebody? And that's why the condition of the body is important to find that out.
So why not release more information about that to the public? So
they don't get rid of the baby.
Because let me just tell you something that was interesting. The sheriff said during a press conference that it was citizens who actually found her body. It was not
And see, they say citizens, but then I heard that he's the one that found the body. So again, we're gonna tighten up this case as we continue. My girl, and thank you so much for the $1. I never seen $1.39 super sticker, but I appreciate you. How'd you get it to be that? All right, and I didn't see the Facebook tiff. It may have been in a different document. That's okay. We still got a lot to cover. All right. We don't know. I mean, so people that have DRUG habits, right? A bunch of people messing around would take somebody's life for $200 or $20. So if she had 2,000 cash and a baby in her belly, well, guess what? Got you, Tiff. I'll check it out. All right, that's possibly a motive. And again, we'll learn more soon.
Law enforcement.
And this was the press conference. I have that, but we're just going to listen here because it's too long. We can go back.
You wonder why were they researching that particular area that had already been searched. But you think about this community, think about people who might know them. Again, I don't know why not release more information.
Because these are angles you look at. They don't know. Right now, you have a 22-year-old female who is deceased, found in the woods, with apparently supposed to be pregnant with no baby, and you don't want to throw those angles out there. And that's why it's all speculation. Could the baby have been born deceased? Could there be something else that has happened to this baby? That's why the investigation is going that way. If you put things out into the ether, into the internet world, into the media, then we don't want the media to change anything, because now you don't want to.
And guys, again, if the baby's alive and well, they're going to be tipping somebody off that they're looking for a baby that's alive and well. And there you go. Thank you. On her Facebook, it does say on Rebecca's Facebook that the baby was a boy, all right, or is a boy if he's still alive, and that he would be named Richard Scott Lee. All right, that's sad. That's so sad. So we know it's a boy now, and apparently it's Richard Scott Lee is the name. All right, let's keep going.
The one story, because right now,
Thank you.
As investigators go and as an investigation, and I've done these, you have to be unbiased. You're taking the facts as you
We
have.
don't know if they sold
These
the
are things
baby yet.
maybe questions they're bringing out to themselves, but it's not solid. So you don't want to put it out there, and that's why they're not saying anything. As a speculation, that's why the body, if that body, and she was close to term, if that body shows from the ME that she gave birth to that baby, where did she give birth to that baby? What, and that's why
that's another thing.
Social media, anything that these individuals had contact.
Yeah, listen, that's a whole other thing. You guys don't we don't know that was the crime scene. They told us earlier that the body may have been moved. Now, when I hear the body may have been moved and we don't know that's the crime scene, that's probably the case. They probably did. Maybe they tried to get her to have birth. They took her life there and they moved her body. It sounds to me like they don't have the evidence from the actual crime scene, or they might not have said that. Life means nothing to some people anymore. I don't understand it. But some people just don't value life. A lot of people that we cover, right? All right, let's keep going.
Which means their cell phone records, cell sites, all these things are being looked at to see if there was some sort of
Grace,
darker side to just her missing and the baby missing. Was there maybe a plan in place to have this happen? And the boyfriend's 46 years, 20 almost.
And guess what, guys? I am gonna go out on a limb to say that right now, while they're searching for where they're searching through electronics and text messages, there's no way that you're gonna get 4 messed up dummies that don't know what they're doing, that didn't leave a trail. I guarantee you they had conversations about what was going to happen. They communicated during it happening if they weren't all there, and they communicated after, whether it was cell phones, DMs on the computer. I bet you there's an electronic trail. Okay. You don't get 4 people involved in a case and somebody not flip on the other or not find evidence. The less people that you have involved, the less people that are going to talk, right? Right. All right.
A quarter century older than this girl, and the mom and the dad. This is something that's really, the daughter's involved. You don't think the worst, but that's why you let the facts lead you. The totality of circumstances will lead you to what happened.
Right. And that's what we're doing here. And I bet that we're going to have a lot of things that are going to come out that we speculate on. Faith and repentance. Happy birthday. I see everybody wishing you a happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right, let's keep going. And thank you for being here. It's good to see you.
Will they find the baby? And the thing is, if the baby was born to term, that's why the ME and the coroners are doing their due diligence to make sure that's what happened or not.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this, in another maybe unexpected move, the judge in this case decided during a live stream of the arraignments that there would be no more live streaming.
Oh, please state your name for the record.
Kimberly Park.
All right, here we go. We get to see some of this, and it's a lot clearer than the news that they had earlier. So I just went ahead and used this. Rita, welcome. Hi, everyone. New to the comments. Great channel. I've seen where a baby was surrendered in South Carolina. Don't know where the baby came from. Could this be connected to Rebecca's case? I don't think so, but I appreciate your thoughts on this. I really don't think so, only because I think it'd be a much different outcome than that. I don't think that, and they would have abandoned a baby that they took so much time and planning on, in my opinion, to take away. Angel of Truth, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you for covering this case. You're very welcome. I saw a lot of people covering this case. I tried to follow it, but it was confusing. So I got to cover it, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, both here in the courtroom, for the media, and those on live stream, the court has an ethical duty to make sure that the defendants in these cases are able to obtain a fair trial. The court is well aware of the publicity that this case has received across the country and perhaps around the world. So in order to protect the defendant's interests in this case, the court is going to take the courtroom off of live stream, and we will only deal with what is here in the courtroom. I'm also ordering that any media present not live stream the proceedings. The court has no way to protect that anything that is being live streamed is not out there for perpetuity.
And if anybody else was in this live stream, let me know. I was looking forward to hearing what happened, and then they shut it down. So I saw the family members sitting there. I saw people coming in. I saw other people that weren't involved in the case, and then it came to this, and it really was shut down. So this is all we get to see. But again, we're going to continue. I believe so too. I don't understand how they can be transparent with some cases and not others, but unforgivable sins. In this case, there may be some really harmful evidence that they don't want the public to see because of the baby's whereabouts. Now, when I say the baby's whereabouts, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that the baby's alive and they're feeding the baby formula. I just think that they tried to take the baby and sell it or use him for their pleasures. And either he survived and they have him and they're doing that, or he didn't and there's a body somewhere that wasn't with the mom. All right, let's keep going. But yes, transparency is important, but this early in the case, there just may be something that they don't want the public to know. And I get it. I don't like it either.
So for those reasons, I'm not authorizing you to live stream. You can record and cut and paste and put a story together.
Yeah,
but I am not authorizing the live stream.
Well, disappointing to members of the public who want to find out the latest on the case. The court is protecting itself, the defendants, from problems down the road. I can understand that.
Well, yeah,
I'm
there you
one who
go.
always wants more transparency in terms of, particularly if you need the public's help for more information and ongoing investigation. But also, I think it's good for the public to understand our justice system and how it works. Your thoughts on something like this?
Yeah, that's why I always try when I teach at John Jay College, and I try to.
All right, real quick, but I don't want to forget this. Let me do this because I hadn't seen this anywhere else, and I'm just gonna pull this down for 1 second, and I'm going to show you the baby's name that she had on. So she was ready. She was 38 weeks pregnant, 3 days before giving birth, and on her Facebook, Rebecca Feller, she has people that were close to her that may have passed. Down here, 11/18/2025, Richard Scott Lee, which is the name of the baby. Now, I don't know who put that there or what, because obviously she didn't know, but this is her page. Whoever's updating it, Tiff, if you know, the baby is, in fact, a boy, because we heard that monster giving an interview saying my little man, and then you see the name of him as Richard Scott Lee. So I'm going to confirm right now that it is a boy. Right. And we don't want to, we don't want to, this case to lose its integrity and them to run off with the baby because they know too much. So that I can't understand. Although I wish this were Florida because Florida is so transparent. Tears in heaven. Good to see you, my friend. All right. Let's keep going. Can't they? I don't know. They have their own pick one to do a trial. One lately was 30-minute delay in case anything came out that shouldn't. Okay, I know that they rescheduled one of them, and I'm trying to keep up with that because there's 4 people in this case, and we want to follow all 4 of them. All right, let's keep going.
Work my kids or walk my kids through the trial process. This is an arraignment. This arraignment is going to where the people involved get notified of the charges against them. And the judge is using his discretion, rightfully so this case doesn't get overturned or there's appeal based on what he does during the arraignment process or during the entire trial process. So you do everything according to plan. You do it the right way. We have to understand that one of the major tenets of the criminal justice system in America is you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. They've been arrested based on probable cause. They're being notified of the official charges against them. The bail has been set for both the sister and the boyfriend. The parents have been arrested. They haven't released those charges yet. And that'll happen at arraignment regardless. They may release it by media or not. It may just come in arraignment, but it's to keep the trial done.
And again, they were supposed to have their arraignment and they moved it out. All right. And you're absolutely under your scars. We have seen this happen way too many times when you get one person and then a second person in the case, then you add a third and a fourth person to the case. Somebody is going to take a plea deal. They're going to flip. The weakest link always does. And I have a feeling the weakest link is going to be the sister, Kimberly Park. She's going to be the weakest link. She's going to blame it on her mom and she's going to blame it heavily on the fiance. I'm just speculating here, but we've seen it way too many times for that not to happen. They always flip because she might have only had a role, and I'm not minimizing it. Her role may have been to lie to law enforcement and maybe, just maybe, to help get rid of evidence. But I think she's the weakest link, and we're going to see as we go. All right. They have been charged by a mom. Yes, they have. They have been, but they were supposed to have an arraignment and they didn't. So Becca, if you go back to the beginning, Becca's intuitive tarot, you'll see I showed that all at the very beginning. But thank you. I'm so glad you're here and paying attention to what we're doing. That means you're engaged. Engaged with what we're doing. Let's go.
The right way. We don't want to see cases turned on appeal based on things that we could have controlled at the time. And I think the judge is doing the right thing, regardless of what the public wants. This is the criminal justice system in America. You want to make sure everybody has a right to due process, a right to fair trial.
All right, I'll pause this for 2 seconds and show you real quick the people. So we've got, are these the 2 people? There's Courtney and Bartholomew. Courtney, Bartholomew and Brad. Those are the only 2 people that I'm seeing all of the charges with homicide, conspiracy to homicide, torture, conspiracy to torture, and on unlawful imprisonment, removing a body without consent, habitual offender. And that's Brad. And then Courtney's got premeditated, almost exact same thing, but they also say causing a miscarriage or stillbirth, right? And conspiracy. So the other ones, they pushed out the arraignment. It was supposed to be today, right? So let's keep going. I definitely will keep you guys posted on this case. All right, let's get back to this.
Now, when it comes to Kimberly, let's talk about this. She apparently had an active presence on social media when it came to the search for Rebecca. Okay, so on November 13th, Kimberly apparently tagged her sister in a post saying, "Sissy, please come home. I miss you. I need you. Sis, you were driving me stir crazy." And then there were 15 crimes.
Right, and look at that. That is Kimberly Park, the weakest link, in my opinion. Okay, she's gonna be the one that gives them up, tells them what happened, etc. That's Kimberly Park, and she knew what happened. She's part of it, saying she's feeling depressed, which rightfully so. If you're involved in your sister and the baby that she's having, taking their life, torturing them, I would be depressed too. She's putting it out there that she misses them. For her.
Nearly 2 weeks later, when it was believed that Rebecca was the woman whose body had been found, Kimberly posted, "My sissy was found. I'm breaking so bad. I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry that I failed you. I love you, sis. Now, Dave, what do you make
Yep.
of these social media statements? Because again, we don't really know exactly what this sister was arrested for in connection with anything. But to make a public plea like this, to make public statements like this, thoughts?
Again, this is what you take into account what her emojis are, the time, and they're going to look in the social media, what times they're posted, and all the like. Can this be a setup? Possible. You want to look at everything, every angle with this. She's been arrested, nothing to deal with the death of her sister, just filing a false police report, tampering with evidence, and lying to the police.
All right, that's going to be the weakest link. And Connie, I appreciate you for coming in and reminding me. I just got that hours ago, and I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to stop this for a second and show you that I was waiting for the arraignment, and the prosecutor delayed it for Rebecca's mom and stepfather, and then we'll talk about the charges. And coincidentally, Connie, I actually have been talking with the creator on TikTok that's been covering this constantly, live streams. I asked her how I could help her, and she said she didn't need help. They had it covered on YouTube because one of her people also has a YouTube channel. I didn't want to step on her toes, but now they need more outreach due to the fact that we want to find baby Park. Okay, so yes, I'm going to show that to you. Let me show that to you now because I don't want people to leave and not get this documented. So let's take a look at what just happened, the delay on the arraignment. And we hadn't talked about the charges for the mom and the stepfather yet. Here it is. Let me pull this down. All right, 1 second. All right. And I didn't have it ready, but here we are. Now it's there.
Tonight in the investigation into the death of 22-year-old Rebecca Park, 2 more family member investigators say are linked to the case, and they were in court today.
That's right. This afternoon, Rebecca Park's biological mother and her stepfather went before a judge, Courtney and Brad Bartholomew, both arrested and booked over the weekend.
Up North Live's Tony Lundy joins us from the Wexford County Courthouse with the latest on what happened this afternoon. Tony.
Oh, this is the same one that we watched, so I don't. Let's listen to it real quick. This isn't the one we watched here, but hold on.
Were brief but significant, as prosecutors told the judge that they still don't have key documents ready to move forward with charges against the Bartholomews.
Oh, there it is.
An autopsy confirmed Rebecca Park's identity, and investigators say the baby she was days away from delivering was not with her when she was found in the Manistee National Forest. Sheriff Trent Taylor acknowledged that details remain extremely limited, urging patience as investigators work.
And that's what I was trying to find was all the charges. They said they had them in custody, but I didn't see the charges. Now, Mab, listen, I think you came in a little bit after we covered that part. They did try to take her in to have the baby, but she didn't give birth when they first took her in. So then she went home, and then after that she went missing. So I almost think that they did try to wait until the baby was born, and they were going to do that. The plan didn't work. They got angry, and this is the result. All right, let's keep going. And guys, apologies, I'm keeping you here longer than normal, but there's a lot.
Through the evidence, the night Rebecca's body was discovered, her fiance, Richard Lee Failer, was arrested. Following that, the arrest of her sister, Kimberly Park. And this week, 2 new arrests, Rebecca's biological mother, Courtney Bartholomew, and her stepfather, Brad Bartholomew. But at their...
All right, so those are the 2 added. There's the trucker mouth mom, all right, that we saw earlier. So we got 4 people.
Scheduled arraignments Monday afternoon, a request for a delay.
We will go ahead and, like Ms. Bartholomew's, we will go ahead and set it for arraignment tomorrow. The court, in the meantime, will hold Mr. Bartholomew without bond if you find that he is both a threat and a flight risk based on what I've read in search warrants. As such, we'll reconvene tomorrow, see where we're at.
Prosecutors say the pause is necessary as investigators continue reviewing documents and executing search warrants.
If there was ever a case where there are circumstances that justify a delay of any type, it's this case. This is as serious as it gets. It's as horrible as it gets. And to preserve the integrity of the case.
Courtney and Brad Bartholomew will be back in court tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. I'll be in the courtroom again, bringing the latest information as it develops. Live in Wexford County, Tony Lundy, Up North Live News.
Thanks for that, Tony. Now, here's a look at the timeline that brought us to this point. Family members say they last saw Rebecca Park November 3rd getting into a car. She was reported missing the following day. November 25th, volunteers searching the Manistee National Forest discovered what they believed to be Rebecca's body. Within 24 hours of that, investigators arrested Richard Fahler, Rebecca's fiance, and Rebecca's sister, Kimberly Park. On November 26th, both were charged in Rebecca's disappearance.
Then on November 29th, the autopsy confirmed the body was in fact Rebecca's and that the baby was not with her. A day later, investigators arrested Rebecca's mom, Courtney Bartholomew, about an hour after that, arresting her stepfather, Brad Bartholomew, this morning. Again, the Bartholomews are expected to be formally charged tomorrow.
And there you go. See, today is December 2nd. That was yesterday. It got delayed. Thank you guys for being here. And please do hit that like button. We're here a little more. Jay, if I wasn't here, I'd just be watching TV. I'd rather be here. Well, I appreciate you guys. I hope that by the end of this, that you understand this case a bit more. Seems like they were under a time crunch for some reason. Well, I don't know if they had it scheduled to move forward. You know what the time crunch probably was, Clementine, is they wanted to get the charges and the arrests out there. They don't want that to lapse and then they have to release them. If the charges if they don't get formally charged, that's the problem. So I think that they want to make sure they cross the T's and dot the I's in this case. And this is hopeful to see the timeline. Okay. All right. Let's get back to what we're doing. And I hope that you guys are a lot more knowledgeable about this case by the time we're done. All right. Let's continue.
Those things come into play. So, and we don't know as to what the lies were, what the false report was, and we don't know what the physical evidence is. So, is it a fact?
Carly,
could she have remorse? Could she actually be feeling these things? We don't know. And that's why
there's the sister, Kimberly Park. She's going to be the weakest link. And is she feeling remorse by saying she's sad, all that? Probably. She's going to flip.
She's been arrested for those felony charges. And that's one thing. They're felonies in Michigan, in New York City, in New York State, for the most part, they're misdemeanors. They'd be right out anyway. So they also believe she's a threat to leave. So they put a high bail on her. I mean, that's something that tells you that there's more to this story than what the media and the public know. And that's why you're getting that. And that's why the prosecutor and the police are working together in conjunction to make sure that the people that are involved, speculating now, because they're not even charged with anything toward the disappearance. They're charged in separate types of things. But we really don't know what the final false report is. So that will come out as, motions will be with the defense attorneys and the like, but they keep them in.
Guys, I'm sure the following, we know following a false report, I'm absolutely almost certain that the report that they filed was the fact that she was missing, right? Because people went and searched and they did everything that they were supposed to do, but they were impeding on the investigation by lying to him and filing a false report, even though they knew. All right, Princess Gumshoe and everybody in chat loves you, Patricia NYC. Big hugs to you. All right. Let's go. Let's finish.
Those felony charges so they can work this case. So they are major players in the boyfriend. We always look at the boyfriends and the family relationship. And the mom. Mom is the last one who saw him. That's basically, she's the last one who saw her daughter. That's a key. What did she tell her daughters? What did she tell her other daughter? What did she say? Those are things coming into play. So that's why when they've been picked up, both of them arrested, they haven't put the charges out yet, but it may be close to the
weakest link, guys.
Now I want to talk about something else. You mentioned it before. This next part, it's a bit of speculation that's been spreading like wildfire on social media. So I do want to preface that most of this information has not been confirmed by law enforcement. The sheriff has limited the information.
And yeah, we're doing our best here. The people are doing a fantastic job. One of the main TikTok creators over there, they were standing out there putting pressure on the mom. That's probably where they got the audio of her cussing and yelling, because they were heavy on the pressure. I was watching it this weekend on TikTok. I had people send it to me where I can see what they were doing. I saw them take the car away for evidence and all of that. It's pretty good. But there's a lot of speculation
that can be released to the media, as we've been talking about. So these are details that have been gathered from various sources, and you're going to see why police say all this is making their job a lot harder. So according to WPBN, this is a Northern Michigan outlet, Rebecca was adopted, and her adoptive mother, Stephanie Park, spoke to 9 and 10 News saying, "We have been silent because we do care. We wanted her found. We did not want to push anybody that would be involved in this way so that she would be able to be found. I never suspected her as running away with the baby. So we have been preparing our."
All right, we're listening as we listen to that. Faith and Repentance says, Mod J, can I stay off topic? Yeah, stay off topic. You're fine. You're all good in here. I normally don't say anything about that. I don't know if one of the mods did, but Rita says, great video and great chatting with you. Until next time, I'll be back. Well, next time is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. All right.
For this outcome. Stephanie also told the outlet, apparently, she had some mental illnesses and some troubles. She was a loving person, but she had her problems. She deserves to be remembered as the sweet girl that she was when she was younger. Now, 9 and 10 News reports that Rebecca's 2 other sons, ages 3.5 and 2, they're in her care, as is Kimberly's 1-year-old daughter. And according to reporting from True Crime...
Okay, a lot of you guys were asking about the other children. There it is. I don't know where those children are. I don't know who has the custody, but there we are. She had young children. What's going to happen to those children?
That have been looking into this case. Rebecca had recently reunited with her biological mom, a woman named Courtney Bartholomew.
What?
Over the weekend, there were rumors that Courtney and her husband, Bradley Bartholomew...
That's messed up. She had just reunited with her mom. I didn't even realize that. And this happened. What a nasty, evil piece of garbage. Man. All right, let's keep going.
Had also been arrested. And as of this reporting, as of this taping, Michigan Live has confirmed that the two were, in fact, in the Wexford County Jail. Their charges, not clear. There are reports that the Bartholomew home was searched, that there was DNA that was collected. At least one truck was also reportedly towed from the home. But again, the sheriff isn't providing a lot of details here. The sheriff's office said in a release, "We understand the public's desire for details and their demand for justice for Rebecca and her baby. We ask for your patience and understanding as we continue to seek answers for this tragic situation."
Okay.
Dave, revisiting this with you. So much of the content creation space is taken up by true crime sleuths, trying to make connections that may be there.
And again, Tiff has been sleuthing online behind the scenes on all these platforms. So again, this is not verified by anybody. This is us, a lot of speculation today. And I tried to give you as much that I could to show you. As Tiff said, she's been looking at this, and she says she asked her foster mom to take care before reuniting with the bio mom. And Tiff, you're free to chat with the chatters and give them answers. I might not read it all out because it hasn't been documented, but I appreciate you chatting with the chat and trying to answer their questions. Formally, I'm trying not to do that.
Maybe not there. I have to imagine this may complicate law enforcement's mission here in their investigation.
It does complicate it, but you know what? You look at things, and I will say this: sometimes there are tips that come in, and that's what the police do. Is there a tip that comes out of there? Does anything jive with what's being said on the internet? We don't worry about that. We stick to the facts as we see them. And that's the one thing about these investigations. You can speculate all you want, and that's what a lot of this we do here is speculate, but you still have the facts available to you. You have a missing baby, a dead child, dead 22-year-old, dead 22-year-old. We don't know where the baby is. Let's see where the baby has gone to. So how you do it is you're going to do another grid search of that location. Is there a possibility that the body is there? And if not, and that's why speaking to the medical examiner, was this baby birthed? Was she birthed out? And this is where all of those weird things come into play. Last person sees it says, "Oh, I saw her getting into a dark sedan, and she gets in the car, and I didn't know what to say to her." It didn't jive, I guarantee, with the investigators, and they further investigated her. They further spoke to her to find that out, and that's why you're seeing this come into play with the arrest there. So there's something there that the police aren't telling, but that's okay. And I always want to err on the side of caution, and the caution is don't tell everybody everything you're doing.
All right. That being said, I'm going to pull this up for who's the lady in the pink hoodie? Where? I'm going to pull this up. Judge reads the charges 5 hours ago, reads the charges in the Rebecca Parker murder, and they call it stillbirth case. So again, maybe they're hinting, but this came out hours ago, and I put it up on the screen for you. but I didn't read all the charges. So I'm going to put that up, and then you guys should have everything you need to know, unless you want to sleuth for yourselves until everything more comes out. All right. I'm not sure the pink hoodie, but maybe you guys know. And yes, Clementine, her work does not go unnoticed by anybody. I heard in the beginning that the adoptive mom had the children, allegedly Detroit City Rock here. What's up, Bill Barbane? Thank you. I appreciate that. Tiff she heard that too from, from behind the, maybe, I don't know where you heard that, Tiff, or read it, but I'm assuming on social media, their Facebook, whatever. So right now, the children are probably with the adoptive mom. Now, this came out 5 hours ago. Judge is going to read the charges. All right. And then on that, we're waiting for the other 2 people to be charged, to hear what the charges are. Hopefully they get a high bail. All right. Mena Nami, welcome. All right. You say Grammy, are you in here? All right, let's get the charges read so y'all know. And then I hope I have everything that you guys needed today. If you already know about the case, then that's awesome. Let's keep going. All right.
You had the opportunity to meet with somebody from the defender's office either yesterday or today? Yes. I have a complaint that alleges that on or about November 3rd, 2025, in Antioch Township and or Boon Township of Wexford County, that is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated. That is a felony punishable by up to life in prison without parole, and DNA to be taken upon arrest. In count number 2, it's alleged that you committed the offense of homicide, felony murder. That is a felony punishable by up to life without parole, and DNA to be taken upon arrest. Both of those charges involved Rebecca Park. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life or any term of years.
And again, you guys could kind of guess hearing this case when they say torture, when you cut a baby out, that's probably what they're referring to. And whatever condition the body was in, we know about 14 stab wounds. We don't know if it was directed at that area of the baby or what.
Consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506 if the assault happened in a place of confinement. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture. That is a felony punishable by up to life and or any term of years, and a $10,000 fine, and consecutive sentence may be imposed if it happened in a place of confinement. In count number 5, it's alleged that you committed the offense of assault a pregnant individual intentionally causing miscarriages, stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years.
And you can hear the people in the background making the noises from the from the stands. And also, remember that they charged premeditated. So I wonder what they had to call it premeditated. They've got to have something, and I guarantee you they have a bunch of electronic data to lead back to all these people, because they're not smart enough, in my opinion, to get away with this with 4 people that are all on METH, right?
Years.
I know.
Count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault by an individual intentionally causing miscarriage or stillbirth. That is a felony punishable by life or any term of years and or $10,000. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. That is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison.
So unlawful imprisonment means, did they kidnap her and hold her somewhere? When she went missing, was she really not missing? And they kept her for X amount of time trying to give birth to the baby. It didn't happen, and they cut the baby out. We don't know where are these charges coming from and what's the basis. We're not quite sure just yet.
And a fine of $20,000. Count number 8 is alleged that you committed the offense of dead bodies removing without medical exam or permission. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or $500. Additionally, the prosecution has elected to charge you as a habitual 4th offender, which means that you have at least 3 prior either attempted or completed felonies in the past. That makes those felonies punishable by more than 5 years up to
just a few more
life offenses.
Yes.
Do you understand those charges and potential penalties?
Yes.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You also have the right to have an attorney present.
He's all, don't worry, I'm not going to talk anyway. All right, guys, we just hit 2 hours, and I try to do an hour and a half, but you know how that goes. Navy Phoenix says I bet mom's boyfriend is baby daddy, and she was going to report him. There's a lot. They're all a bunch of pedos, so who knows who was reporting what, but yeah, the jab, there it is. Who needs enemies with a family like this? And so I put that up there at the end so you guys can kind of see what's going on. We need a we need a whole pie chart, and it's probably going to grow even bigger when we start looking at best friends of the family, etc. So guys, we're going to keep up on this case. There's 193 people still in here. I hope that you guys can hit that like button on your way out. If you guys see the option to hype the channel or hype the video, please do so. And then share this with your friends and community so they can get the whole, you guys are making me laugh. It's a freaking pie chart. Come on. I never thought I was going to need a pie chart once I finished, college and math, but there you go. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate everybody that got memberships, gifted memberships, and donated to our goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, all the mods, Tiff, Synth, Foxy, Carly, and Holly. They were all here today. So thank you. We appreciate everyone. Keep coming. We've got giveaways all month in December. We're going to be doing something. So keep coming back, guys. We love you. Have a wonderful night. Love you too, MM Clar. Big hugs. And I appreciate y'all. All right, bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?